This is Game Set Match Kentucky, Episode 8, recorded June 3rd, 2019, entitled, Is the Chair Umpire Going to Check That Mark? Hey everybody, it's time for a new season of Game Set Match Kentucky where we talk about all things related to the Central Kentucky Tennis Series and probably a whole lot more that you never asked for. This is June 3rd, 2019. I'm Chris Godby. I'm the chairman and one of the founders of the CKTS, where the lines are good and sandbagging is for golf. It has been a long time, but we are back, and I am here at the headquarters of the Central Kentucky Tennis Series in Russell Springs, Kentucky. And with me again today from the suburbs near Bowling Green, Kentucky, is one of our tournament directors, as well as the tennis coach at South Warren High School, fresh off a state tournament trip. How are you doing, Chad Young?
Doing great, Chris. Good to be back with you.
By day, Chad is the program director of a talk radio station in Bowling Green, where he hosts a morning talk show on Talk 104.1 FM and 9:30 a.m. Today on this episode of Game Set Match Kentucky, we're going to preview the 2019 season of the CKTS. We're going to preview our first tournament, the Bowling Green Open, and we also have a special announcement about tennis in general in Bowling Green that we'll get to. We'll look at what's coming up in tennis in other parts of Kentucky. We'd like to thank the sponsor of this episode, LakeNet Media Web Hosting, and they can be reached at 757-LakeNet. That's 757-525-3638. If you or your business is also interested in sponsoring this podcast, send an email to info@gamesetmatchky.com. Well, Chad, let's get right in. Congratulations on making it to the state tournament with your with members of your South Warren High School tennis team. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That's right. We had a girls team and a boys team that made it in doubles. Our girls won the fourth region doubles title for the fourth straight year, and then I had a couple boys who made it in their first year playing tennis. They were both seniors. First time they ever came out for the team was in February, and so they were able to make it to the semifinals, and so it was a good experience to get to take them to the state. Girls didn't quite go as far as we were hoping they would. They got seeded. They were a 5 through 8 seed at the state tournament, but were upset in the first round. But it was still a great experience, and they had a great career.
Now, how many trips to the state tournament as a coach does this make for you?
This makes 8 straight.
8 straight. Wow.
We started the program in 2011 and didn't make it the first year, but we've taken at least one individual for the last 8 years. We've taken multiple people or teams. We've usually had at least a singles or a doubles or a combination of that for the boys and girls every year since 2012.
Best I ever did as a high school coach was 3 straight trips, always one doubles team at a time. But it's a good experience, and I know you had a good time, win or lose, and congratulations again.
Thank you. It really is a great experience, and the good thing is, you see a lot of names of kids who compete in the CKTS who use that experience playing those summer tournaments to get better as they get ready for their high school season. So a lot of names that I see in my tournament draws that you saw in the state tournament draw as well.
Well, let's start out with some topics here. The 17th season of the Central Kentucky Tennis Series is here. The full schedule is available at CKTSTour.com, and that schedule is always tentative because things happen. So, but the schedule as it is right now is up at CKTSTour.com, and the first tournament is your tournament, one of the 2 that you direct, the Bowling Green Open. We'll get to that in conversation in just a couple minutes. The other things I wanted to say about this season of the CKTS, the divisions that we offered in 2018 are the same divisions that we are offering in 2019. We've kind of fine-tuned this thing, I believe. So there was discussion of some minor changes, but we did not change the divisions ultimately. And so currently we offer 23 different divisions for different age levels and skill levels. I'm going to run through them very quickly here. Men's open singles, that's for 4-0 and up on CKTS. If you're a 4.0 or up, you play men's open singles. Men's B singles is 3-0 to 3-5. Men's C singles is 2-5 and below. We also offer men's 40 and over singles, and then we drop down to the junior level. We have boys 18 and under, boys 15 and under, boys 12 and under. We also have for female singles, we have women's open singles, women's B singles, and same ratings there. Girls 18 and under singles, girls 15 and under singles, girls 12 and under singles. And then in doubles, we have men's open doubles, men's 40 and over doubles. We also have men's B and C doubles, and boys 18 and under doubles. And on the women's side, we have women's open doubles, women's B doubles, girls 18 and under doubles. And then we have mixed open doubles, mixed B doubles, and mixed 18 and under doubles. That's 23 different divisions. You can read more about that at cktstour.com/divisions. So if you're going to play on the CKTS Tour this summer, I highly recommend a CKTS single or family membership or the Tour Pass, and I'm just going to discuss these options and what they mean right now. So currently, if you play one of our tournaments, like if you sign up to play the Bowling Green Open this weekend, your singles entry fee is going to be $20, which is, I think, compared to many tournaments, already ridiculously cheap. However, if you're a CKTS member, for only $15 a year, you get $5 off that entry fee. So now you're paying, of course, $15. And if you're also playing doubles, which is $15 if you're not a member, but only $10 per person if you are a member, now you've basically paid for 2/3 of your $15 membership. You play another tournament, and it's well worth it to have purchased a single CKTS membership. You get $5 off singles and doubles all summer, every tournament. Members get a free T-shirt. You qualify then for the points race and potential year-end awards. And you also have priority entry in full tournament events. So let's say, for example, in the Bowling Green Open this weekend, that men's B singles has 18 people that are trying to enter. Well, we're only going to take 16 because we only have 2 days to play the tournament. So if a member is going to bump out a non-member, that's a perk that you get as a CKTS member. If you want to do a family membership, that'll cover everyone that lives in the same household for $25 per season. Same deal, $5 off singles and doubles. Each member of the family that participates gets a T-shirt, and everyone that participates in the family also qualifies for the points race and awards, and same thing, they get priority entry in a full event. So as you know, we also offer something called a Tour Pass. We've been offering a Tour Pass for, I think, about 10 years now. It was an idea that one of our board members, Tim Perkins, had, actually, and I thought it was a great idea, and it's gone over pretty well, and we sell more and more Tour Passes every year. What a Tour Pass basically is, it means that you pay one time, and it gives you a CKTS membership, and it gives you entry in up to 2 events in every tournament all season long, all 8 tournaments. You can play 2 singles events, you can play 1 singles, 1 doubles, you can play 2 doubles events, however you want to do it. So it's really up to 16 entries you're paying. So the price is $99 for a Tour Pass. We already have several people that have taken advantage of that, purchased it online, and we haven't even played our first tournament yet. Now, for you as a tournament director, Chad, how convenient is it when players have a Tour Pass?
Well, I mean, I'd say it's really convenient for them because they've already paid. They don't have to worry about bringing any money. We don't have to worry about handling money. I don't know if this is a secret, but the each tour event basically splits, gets an equal share of the tour pass money. So we still get paid for their entry. But yeah, it's real easy in terms of registration and checking somebody off. It's real easy if they've got a tour pass.
Yeah, they just show up and they mention their name and say that they're a tour pass. We look at the list and verify that, and once they've signed their waiver to play, they're basically checked in, right?
That's right. I mean, it's a pretty easy process if you have a tour pass.
And so, again, the perks of having a tour pass is that, number one, they pay once. They've got membership and entry in all CKTS tournaments all summer, as many or as few as they want to play. If you play about 4 tournaments, it basically pays for itself. And they also get a T-shirt, of course. They qualify for points race. And then an extra perk of the Tour Pass is they get top priority.
Yeah, they have super duper priority.
Yes. So, if an event is full and they're entering on time, they will bump out someone who is not a member. And if it even came down to it, I'd hate to say they would bump out someone who is just a single member. So that has not happened yet. So
no, I mean, I've only had 2 or 3 times where I've had to bump somebody, and most of the time there were enough people that were not members that all the members were able to play.
Some tournaments that you play elsewhere will be pretty expensive. So if you're going to play any of our tournaments this summer, strongly consider the Tour Pass because it's very convenient. The players really seem to like it. The tournament directors really seem to like it, and it's kind of a win-win. So go for it, or at least consider membership. It supports the organization. It also gives you a discount as a player. And if you play just a couple times or a few times, it pays off. So consider CKTS membership and the Tour Pass. Chad, the Bowling Green Open is here. It is coming up next weekend.
Yeah, and you were talking about the high school state tournament. That's maybe the biggest storyline is they moved the state tournament back 2 weeks. And so now the start of the CKTS season and the end of the high school season are pretty much right on top of each other. It really kind of even affected our scheduling for the tour a little bit this year, but we're ready to go. I wish the weather forecast looked a little bit better at this point in time, but hopefully that'll change as things kind of do sometimes from the beginning of the week to the end of the week.
With the Bowling Green Open coming up next weekend, is other than a chance of rain, is there anything you want to tell us about the tournament? Anything that we can expect? Maybe something that's different from last year? Or...
Well, biggest thing is we got new courts. We're using a different set of courts this year. We're still going to be at Caracas, but instead of being at Warren Central High School, we're going to be at Greenwood's new facility this year. They've got 10 courts. Played there a lot during the high school season. It's a great facility. So they've been kind enough, the Warren County Schools, to let us use those courts. So we're still going to be registering people on Saturday at Caracas, but we'll use Greenwood as our alternate site on Saturday. And then I think we're going to move everybody to Greenwood on Sunday because there are more courts, and that'll allow us to get through the day sooner, hopefully.
Okay, so for Saturday, the primary check-in location, as usual, is Caracas Park.
That's correct.
Some matches will be sent to Greenwood High School.
Mm-hmm.
And if I understood you correctly, all matches on Sunday will be at Greenwood High School.
That's correct.
Okay. So speaking of Bowling Green, Chad, we have developing late this winter and early this spring some exciting news about tennis in Bowling Green.
Yeah, there's a big push this spring. Martina Fee and Bobby Lindsay deserve a lot of the credit. They got in contact with some with county officials. They talked with city and county officials about possibility of indoor courts in Bowling Green, an indoor facility. And so they had a number of meetings, and we had a couple of they had some meetings, and the county decided to do a feasibility study. And so we had a couple of public meetings, and we had a huge response. They the firm that did the feasibility study said that for normal public meetings like that, 50 is a good number of people to show up. We had almost 200 for the first meeting back in April. So we had a tremendous response, and it was hockey and tennis facilities combined. But anyway, they did the feasibility study. They came back, presented that to the fiscal court back in May. The price tag was pretty high, and that kind of took the wind out of everybody's sails a little bit momentarily. But I feel pretty strongly that we're headed in the right direction with this. I think the magistrates have been talking with some of their financial folks and talking with some contractors and looking at ways to get some of the costs down to where it can be a reality in terms of the price tag. But the initial study found that within 5 years, the facility could be bringing in more revenue than its overhead costs. So essentially, obviously, the construction costs would still have to be paid off, but the facility will be self-sufficient after 5 years, according to the study. So that was encouraging. That was with a 6-court facility, indoors with some outdoor courts as well. And so that discussion is still taking place. I'm not sure when that's going to come up again before fiscal court, but I still, even though the price tag was probably a little too rich for the fiscal court to go ahead and sign off at that point in time, I feel like we're headed in a strong. The momentum is still behind us to get some indoor courts in Bowling Green for the first time in I don't know, probably 7-8 years.
Is Western Kentucky University involved, and would they benefit from this?
I know that they've talked to them about that. I don't know what their financial impact would be or contribution would be. Certainly, they would benefit from having the ability to use the indoor facility, much like the local high school programs would, if matches or practices were to get rained out. I know Western right now goes down to Ensworth in Tennessee. They have an indoor facility at that school, and they use that facility. So I think there's been discussion with WKU. I don't know if they're going to be a partnership, if there's going to be a partnership with them or not. But they certainly would be one of the entities that would really benefit from having indoor facility, much like the CKTS would, not only for the Bowling Green event, but I would think also probably for the Glasgow events. If we were to have a rain out weekend or have some rain roll in Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon, and we could go to an indoor facility and finish it out.
Yeah, that would be incredible. Yeah. Is there a location in mind?
There were 3 or 4 locations. There was the goal was to use existing land that was owned by the county. So there's a park on Nashville Road, not too far from South Warren, called Buchanan Park. If any of you are familiar with Cheney's Dairy Barn, it's right across the street from it. There was some land adjacent to one of the elementary schools, the new elementary school on Russellville Road, that is owned by the county schools, but that was looked at as a potential site. Ephraim White Park, which is out by Warren East High School, was looked at. And then Fillmore Park was a site that was considered, but there were some flooding issues that really kept that from being a reality. So those were really the 3 sites that were discussed. Was Buchanan Park, the land next to the new elementary on Russellville Road, and then out at Ephraim White. But I'm hoping that we can have something indoor by the end of next calendar year.
Great.
If all goes according to plan.
Okay, Chad, let's look at some upcoming events in tennis with the CKTS and other organizations and other groups around Kentucky. Of course, we have the Bowling Green Open next weekend coming up June 8th and 9th, and the deadline is tomorrow as we record this, June the 4th. Our next tournament will be the Barron Classic 2 weeks later. It's on June 22nd and 23rd. You have until June 18th to register for that one. The entries for that will open on Monday, June 10th at midnight. The that morning, entries will open for that automatically on our website, and we'll close on June 18th at 6 p.m. Central Time. You can go to CKTSTour.com for those tournaments and for all of our tournaments. Our friends at the Mountain Tennis Circuit are having some tournaments coming up also. Between our first and second tournament, they have one on June 15th and 16th in Berea. It's the Sharif Heshima tournament. You can find out more about that at mtctennis.org. They also have one at the end of this month, June 29th and 30th, called the Bud Jackson Juniors in Berea, and you can also read about that or get information to sign up at mtctennis.org. Courtesy of USTA Kentucky and the website kentuckytennis.com, the 2019 League Championships are already underway. Some of it has already begun, but they are still taking signups for adult 18 and over, which will be held June 14th through the 16th in Louisville. Registration deadline for that is June 5th, so that's coming right up. The adult 40 and over will be June 21st through the 23rd in Lexington, Kentucky, and the registration deadline for that is June the 12th. Registration is also now open for UK tennis camps that are being held in the middle of June in Lexington, Kentucky on the campus of the University of Kentucky. And for more information on this, you could visit ukathletics.com under the tennis section and the news subsection. To keep up with USTA Kentucky, visit kentuckytennis.com or follow USTA Kentucky on Twitter. That's at USTA Kentucky, the word Kentucky spelled out. Also on Facebook at USTA Kentucky. So if you have a clinic, a camp, some kind of tennis social event, some kind of tournament coming up, send it to us and I'll announce it here on the podcast. Send us your tennis events to info@gamesetmatchky.com. Well, that's going to serve out another episode of Game Set Match Kentucky. It's good to be back. I'm glad to be doing this again for a second season, and thank you again, Chad, for being with me today.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Looking forward to this weekend.
Absolutely. I'd also like to thank the people who have been listening and subscribing. You can subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify. If you subscribe, leave us a review on iTunes. I'd like to thank our listeners from various locations. We were doing this thing last year where we would, or I would name off new states where someone had downloaded the podcast, or new countries where someone had downloaded this podcast. So we had 3 countries last year. Now it's 5 countries. You can add South Korea to that and South Africa. There are listeners of Game Set Match Kentucky in those countries, in addition to the United States, Sweden, and the United Kingdom. Apart from the 9 states that were listeners last year, you can add California, Illinois, Michigan, Washington State, New Jersey, and South Dakota. Thank you all. Whether you found us by accident or not, thank you for listening. You can visit GameSetMatchKentucky.com. That's GameSetMatchKY.com for all of our episodes and show notes and more. You can follow us on Twitter at GameSetMatchKY. Please like our Facebook page at GameSetMatchKY, or you can look for on Facebook Game Set Match Kentucky, the podcast. If you'd like to sponsor this program, send an email to info@gamesetmatchky.com. Oh no, Chad, there is that sound. It looks like Hawkeye says, yeah, we're out. We're out.
Is the chair umpire going to come down and check that mark, Chris?
Chair umpire is going to climb off that ladder and come and check that mark and, tell us whether it was good or bad. It's probably good. Well, thanks again. Until next time, I'm Chris Godby with Chad Young, and this has been Game Set Match Kentucky.
Wait a second. Does the chair umpire have to come down and look at the mark on that?
Yeah, are they going to do that in Bowling Green this weekend? Are you going to trot out
No,
there and come
no,
on, come
no.
on?
I'm gonna.
The ball makes marks on the pavement sometimes, on that deco turf.
It does, and you're just as likely to find the right mark on our hard courts as you are on the clay courts.